What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I'm a little bit croaky because I've just finished casting the Pokemon Regional Championship in Lille, but we have some new cards that we need to be talking about from OP-10. So what am I going to do? Not bring you a video about them? No. That doesn't seem right. And I want to start off today with a card we were expecting. It is Tashigi. But Tashigi in Smoker's body, of course. I've already shown you Smoker in Tashigi's body as a leader. Is one of the leaders in this set, and as a character as well. Well, now we've got ourselves Tashigi. It was always going to happen. It was always going to be a thing. It's nice now that we've got the confirmation, and it's coming, and it's lovely. The question is, though, is it actually any good? Well, we got a super rare. So we only get 10 of them per set. It's always fun to get a new one. Free cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 2,000, which is lovely. And whenever one of your green characters, other than Tashigi, would be removed from play due to your opponent's effects, you may rest this character instead. Now, this isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. If one of your characters would be removed in a challenge, if they're attacked, well, yeah, this is not going to save them. It's only if they're removed by an effect, but I adore this. You've got to block it down. Your opponent tries to get rid of it with an effect. So what you go and do instead is you rest this. Your character is not removed by an opponent's effect. You don't lose your blocker. And then, essentially, your opponent, who was trying to avoid attacking into the blocker, now just has to attack into the blocker anyway. I really like this. And the great thing is, firstly, it's a low-cost card. We're talking about a free-cost card, so you're not really giving up too much to play this, and it could save a character that you really need on the board. And secondly, you've got that counter plus 2k, so even if you never actually end up playing this, that's alright as well. You add all of this up, and I think you've got a very, very, very nice super rare. This is one I've got my eye on. I think green is getting a whole bunch better in OP-10. I think the Smoker leader has a huge amount of potential. I think the Smoker character I showed you the other day has a huge amount of potential. And I just think this could be kind of fun. But maybe that's not enough super rares for one video. Maybe you need another one. Well, how about we have a little bit of a chat about Captain Eustass Kid. 8 cost, 9,000 power yellow. And this is another super rare, but we've got a big super rare here. On play, you may rest this character to trash up to one card from the top of your opponent's life. And remember, when you trash a card from the top of your opponent's life, it doesn't go to the hand. Any triggers they might have do not activate. When you trash a card from the top of your opponent's life, they just lose the card from the top of their life. There is no benefit, no bonus, no fun to be gained here. They just lose a card from the top of their life. It's great. Is it perfect? No, obviously not. But I love this. And this is what I meant in terms of it being a bigger card. It is literally and figuratively a bigger card here. Because firstly, you've got the whole, you are an 8 cost. That is generally pretty big. And then, of course, you've got the fact that you are getting rid of one of your opponent's life on play. That is awesome. Get late in the game, trash an opponent's life, and because you're trashing rather than attacking or anything of that, there's no blocking or any of that rubbish. You just trash one of their life. It's awesome. But it's not actually all the card does. There is another skill coming in here as well. We have got end of your turn. If your opponent has 2 or fewer life cards, draw 1, trash a card from your hand. Yeah, this is excellent. This is wonderful. It's kind of a draw. Well, it is a draw engine. The important thing to note here is you never actually end up plussing in your hand. You end up even. You draw a card, you trash a card, you end your turn with the same number of cards as you had before you use this skill. The important thing to note here is you're seeing more cards. You have got access to more cards, and the great thing here is you draw and then you discard. So if it turns out that the card you drew from here is actually the card you want the least, that is giving you the least value, that you really don't need to keep, that can be the one you discard, and that is awesome. If it was discard and then draw, then you run into that trap of potentially discarding a better card and drawing a worse card. You don't want that. That's the wrong way round. This is a brilliant, brilliant card. Because, I mean, look, let's say for argument's sake, your opponent can take this out straight away. You play this on your turn, and on your opponent's next turn, they just, bearing in mind you're going to rest it for the on-play skill, they just attack into it, and you can't counter or block or any of that, and you lose this character straight away. Well, your opponent's got free life. You play this, trash one of their life, that's a good thing. You then get to the end of your turn, your opponent now has 2 or fewer life, so you draw one and trash one. And if the absolute worst case scenario is you take out a life, draw a card, trash a card, I am totally okay with that. Hopefully this stays around for a turn, gives you a 9k body on the board, lets you do some attacking and use this end of turn skill multiple times. That's what you're really looking for here. But like the worst case scenario is you just get rid of a life and cycle a card. There are much worse cards out there. This one looks very, very, very strong. I like this. But how about we move away from secret rares for a minute, or super rares? How about we just show you an ordinary everyday run-of-the-mill rare? How about Shiryu? This one is good. 4 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000. During your opponent's turn, this character gains 2,000 power. And then as an activate main, if this is the turn this card was played, and if your leader has Blackbeard Pirates in its type, KO one of your opponent's characters with an original cost of 3 or less. Now, this second skill is very, very important. It is an original cost of 3 or less. Obviously, one of the things we like to do in the One Piece TCG is reduce the cost of our opponent's cards, so that we can take advantage of skills which target a particular cost. That is not the case here. It is an original cost of 3 or less. It doesn't work. Sorry. But it still gets rid of a character. It's still awesome. It's a little more restrictive than it might otherwise be. And there were some incorrect translations floating around about this originally, but it definitely is original cost of 3 or less. I translated it myself and everything. And this is a Blackbeard Pirates card. Firstly, because it literally only works, the second skill there, if you've got a Blackbeard leader. So that is, of course, your Blackbeard from OP-10. But also, and I do think this is very important, it's got a fake on-play skill. What I mean by that is, it's an on-play skill which doesn't say on-play. It can only be used the turn you play it. It is a you play it and you use this skill straight away, activate main, but only if it's the turn this card was played. You know what we're getting at there. But of course, Blackbeard turns off on-play skills for you and your opponent. So yeah. What we really need here is a way to get on-play skills without them technically being on-play skills, and that is what we see here. It is a Blackbeard card, and frankly, in the OP-09 meta, Blackbeard is pretty good. It is a decent deck, seeing a bit of play. Over in Japan right now, this is a decent card, but it's one of those situations where new tricks like this are going to help. New tricks like this are going to make it better. And this is awesome. Then, of course, we got that skill whereby on your opponent's turn, this character gains 2,000 power. That gives you protection from some skills that would take out a character with 5,000 power or less. Now you're 7,000. And it means that if your opponent is trying to take you out, if they're trying to just attack and take you out, that becomes a lot more difficult to do because you're a 7k, not a 5k. You're only a 5k on your turn when you're attacking, which is a little bit sad, but plus 2k on your opponent's turn, and you get to KO a free cost or less on play. This is a fun new trick for Blackbeard. Add it together with 2 new super rares, and I think OP-10 is starting to sound like a set about which we can get a little bit excited. But for now, I want to know what you think. I want to know your thoughts, your feelings, your opinions, and anything else. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.